Everyone, it's John from the Lions Den. I want to talk to you a little bit about the State of the Union address, which I just finished watching. It was boring, kind of interesting, I guess. In some places, I was really shocked that Obama said he wanted to do offshore drilling potentially. Actually, I'm not really sure what he meant by that comment, but he also wanted to look into nuclear power. Shocked me. But if he's sincere about that, I'm really glad. I kind of doubt he is sincere about that since he's broken so many other promises, but we'll see. Yeah, I hope he is. I was also surprised with his statement about gays in the military, and I didn't see that one coming either. But the whole speech, it was over 70 minutes. He talked about a lot of stuff, and I have to agree with the Republican response by Bob McDonnell, governor of Virginia. The federal government is involved in way too many issues. They're trying to take on way too much, and I think we've gotten so far away from the Constitution that the State of the Union address should not be addressing some of the things that he was addressing. A second stimulus, or he's calling it a jobs bill. And at the same time saying he's going to cut out all the pork. You remember all the pork in the last jobs bill? Another contradictory thing I saw was he said that he hadn't raised any taxes. And then he said, well, I've cut taxes for 95% of Americans. Those two might not necessarily be contradictory, but it's just weird to say that. Stick with one of them. Say, if you haven't cut taxes, usually you're going to say, I haven't raised any. If you wouldn't say that I haven't raised any if you cut them. If you cut them, you want to tout that as your achievement. So that was just a little weird to me, because obviously he hasn't cut anything. He's just been piling spending on. He hasn't actually raised taxes yet too much, not that I know of, but it's definitely coming, because there's no way you can pay for all this stuff without doing that. He did say he was going to actually raise taxes for some of the biggest banks. That will be a big mistake, because the trickle down, we're going to end up paying for it anyways, and I'm not even going to talk about that right now. What I really want to talk about actually is the education stuff he talked about, because I think that's probably of interest to college students the most. Educational reform. He says tuition's going up. Yeah, it is. He also says that income's going down. Well, right now it is. He thinks he was trying to blame it on Bush, but whatever. Income's going down, tuition's going up. His solution: more government spending, for loan forgiveness, tax credits to the parents who are paying. He said loan forgiveness after 20 years for people working in the private sector, after 10 years for those working in the public sector. This is as stupid as... I'm trying to come up with an analogy here. The analogy I came up with in my blog was as a caveman trying to throw wood on a fire in hopes that it will go out. This is like just the stupidest thing. I can't even... I just want to laugh, but the sad thing is I think most people don't even get it. The reason tuition is so great in this country and goes up every single year, last year it was 6.5%, is because the government spending keeps going up. At community colleges, 40% of the kids are getting full rides from the government. The government is 65% of all the tuition assistance in the country. Why is the government paying so much? It's the same problem we have in healthcare. Every time you have a third-party payer, then schools can charge whatever they want. And Obama tries to chide the schools, saying, well, you shouldn't be charging that much. Well, if you're going to pay a huge price, then wouldn't you want to get that money? If you were a small business owner and someone came in and said, hey, I want that product, I'll pay you whatever it takes, you're going to say, hey, I'm charging as much as I possibly can, and that's what's happening here in tuition. So now he's trying to say, well, we need to pay even more. Well, if we pay more, then they're just going to charge more. It's just duh. The other thing I noticed was, what about the whole tuition forgiveness? Why is it cut in half the time you have to wait for tuition forgiveness if you work in a public sector job? Sounds like he's really trying to grow the public sector, providing incentives for college students, and shrink the private sector. I don't like that. Because the private sector is the only part of the nation that really creates jobs. Everything else is a bureaucracy. So utterly stupid in my opinion. But you can check it out. I've written all this stuff down. I got links. I got links to charts and graphs and information that'll just sort of prove what I'm saying here. Go to the blog. Go to roarnomore.blogspot.com. Check that out. I got some other thoughts on the speech. Check those out as well. And I look forward to speaking to you next time. Bye.